In 2020, many of us, including children, stayed at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. Well, now health officials are concerned that the numbers for child abuse in 2020 will be higher than previous years, with children unable to report abuse in person at school. Tamara Vaifanua reports.
The safe haven that schools provided for students in 2020 disappeared, and abused children were left to suffer in silence. Official numbers for child abuse cases in 2020 have not been released yet, but healthcare professionals expect the count to be high.
We know that each year there are millions and millions of children who are reported to the Child Protective Services around the country.
Here at Intermountain, they planted more than 1,800 pinwheels to raise awareness of child abuse, each one representing children across the country who died from abuse in 2019.
Those rates are remarkably stable year to year. And then when the pandemic hit, all of a sudden it seemed like the floor dropped out. We weren't having any cases coming into clinic.
With schools going remote and children isolated in their homes during the pandemic, child abuse cases went unreported because children didn't have the safety net of schools to turn to.
We know that children that are in those environments are at both physical and psychological risk. Sometimes children are hurt as a way of hurting the other parent.
There are resources out there to help abused children. 26 children's justice centers across the state can offer them a safe place to stay. Advocates say the most important thing adults can do is if a child confides in them, believe them.
I can't tell you the number of cases that we hear about where a neighbor actually heard somebody physically harming their child, hitting them, the child screaming and crying, and nobody said anything. Those children can go on to be so physically injured that they end up needing hospitalization, and in a worst case scenario, they can actually be killed.
If you see something, say something and report it to DCFS so they can investigate.